This study was on effects of gender and external pressures on university students' motivation for physical activity. With obesity at epidemic levels in the Western civilization, effects or benefits of physical activity on prevention to disease has been well documented. Ziffelt in 1986 found exercise routines in adulthood are commonly established during childhood, with exercise programs in schools an effective way to improve fitness levels and increase student participation in health-related activities. Physical activity levels taper off throughout an individual's life cycle, with the largest rate of decline in young adulthood, and only half of university students meet weekly recommendations for physical activity. Student gender and the related differences between motivations for physical activity were documented by Kilpatrick in 2005. He found males showed higher levels in 5 motivational areas: challenge, competition, social recognition, strength, and endurance, whilst females showed higher motivational data for weight management. Studies have shown the differences between gender motivations to exercise, although what are the motivational barriers to exercise amongst university students? With the cost of living at university and online courses now available, many students work part-time or full-time. Eben, in 2008, found when questioning students why they don't exercise, many students reported lack of time due to increased workloads. There are many studies relating to students' exercise motivations, but few, if any, show the effects that full or part-time work has on students' exercise motivation. Burton in 2012 found lower income workers would participate in physical activity if it was more financially accessible, whilst higher income workers would participate if work stress or time wasn't such a factor. The hypothesis for this study was to test whether gender or yearly income, workload, or both affected a student's motivation to either participate or not participate in exercise and make comparisons between groups' motivational factors. The methods. In this study, the unemployment or part-time workers are categorised as $0 to $30,000 per year. This also encompasses the students who earn youth allowance. Full-time workers were those whose yearly income is anything above $30,100 per year. The consent from Central Queensland University's Ethics Committee to use students for this test was sought after and obtained to comply with the university procedure. Once consent was given, 40 students from around Australia currently studying applied exercise sports psychology through Central Queensland University, either on campus in Rockhampton, Queensland, or externally over the internet, were asked to perform a short demographic survey in relation to personal characteristics such as age, height, weight, geographical location, salary, and sporting interests. Procedures. Those students who completed the questionnaire, 20 were male, 50% of the group, and 20 were female, also 50% of the group. After completion of the demographical data, all 40 students were then asked to complete a BREG2. This is a behavioural regulation and exercise questionnaire. The physical activity behaviour, motivational factors for male and female students were measured using the BREG2. This scale consists of 19 questions relating to 5 different types of behavioural regulation. They are amotivation, intrinsic regulation, identified regulation, introjected regulation, and external regulation. Survey results for individual answers were then divided into 3 groups: sex, yearly salary, and sex plus salary groups. To determine if there was any statistical variance of sex, yearly salary, or both in individuals' motivation for either participating or not participating in physical activity. Sex encompassed 2 groups, males and females, whilst yearly salary was split into 2 categories, 0 to $30,000 per year and $30,100 plus. The relative autonomy index was used to calculate the factorial validity of groups' answers with the BREG2 survey to help show distinctive statistical variance. The RAI shows the degree of an individual's self-determination in relation to their behaviour. High scores represent higher levels of self-motivation. All groups' results were correlated to show statistical similarities. Results. The RAI test shows the differences between groups divided into student gender sections. Whilst previous studies, like Kilpatrick's in 2005, found males had higher motivational rates, this study shows female self-determination is greater, with F equaling 50.24. The higher value for RAI shows females have a higher rate of self-determination overall as a group, compared to males' RAI score of 13.2. RAI was again used to test the division of self-motivation between different yearly income groups, like non- or part-time workers earning under $30,000 a year, and full-time workers earning over $30,000 per year. Motivation was higher for part-time and unemployed workers at F equals 15.21, whilst full-time workers F equaled 12.86. This score was significantly lower than their non-working counterparts, and A motivation in full-time workers was at its highest rate. The four groups, males under 30,000, females under 30,000, males earning over 30,100 a year, and females earning over 30,100 per year, were tested with the RAI scale. Part-time or unemployed female students have the highest self-determination for physical activity, with F equaling 15.7, while part-time or unemployed males were the second highest motivated group, with F equaling 14.34. A notable fact was that A motivation was the lowest for part-time or unemployed males and females. The highest full-time working group was females, with F equaling 14.25, while males were the lowest group out of the four, with F equaling 2.23. They also had the lowest standard deviation between all categories of 1.38. A motivation was the highest for males at full-time work. Discussion. In contrast to Kilpatrick's 2005 study that male students possess high motivation in comparison to female students, the results of this test show female students are more self-determination in regards to motivation for physical activity. Females consistently scored high motivational results in all variables compared to their male counterparts. The RAI index showed the highest motivational behaviour exhibited in part-time or unemployed female students. The lowest motivational behaviour towards physical activity was in male full-time workers, of F equals 12.23. The findings were interrelated with Konstantinos' 2002 study that showed lower behaviour motivation for physical activity can be explained by restricted physical activity opportunities for male and female full-time workers. This is due to increased workloads or higher intrapersonal constraints like attitudes, values or beliefs which an individual embraces that hinder participation in physical activities. Conclusion. This research has shown time factors through increased workloads severely deplete self-determination in regulation to physical activity. The data has proven new developmental strategies are needed to help show the benefits and value of physical activity to full-time working students. According to DeBoer in 2004, the Western world's increased workloads, categorised as 40 plus hours per week, leads to higher consumption of convenience fast foods, over time being very detrimental to physical health. Whilst it's important to show the disadvantages of sedentary lifestyle, it's the benefits of regular exercise which must be continually expressed to full-time working students. Changes in exercise motivation will not occur until students feel the behaviour is valuable, beneficial or rewarding. Increased workloads could also include regular physical activity with an implementation of regimented schedules where time is allocated for exercise. The recent conception of 24-hour gyms helps individuals access fitness facilities anytime and can be a valuable tool for busy students. Efforts to reduce the student population prevalence of inactivity will only have greater impact if they are tailored to the needs and preferences of different student groups.